been obsessed with military parades since he witnessed France's Bastille Day celebration. But here's the critical difference. France's parade celebrates their national day and Republican values, not President Macron's birthday. The distinction here is quite large. But of course, Trump saw the French parade and thought to himself, wow, look at all those tanks and soldiers. I want all of that, but make it about me. Because that really is Trump's superpower. Seeing literally anything in the world and figuring out how to make it all about himself. And I don't think I should have to say this, but the US military swears allegiance to the Constitution, not to any one man. Certainly not to a twice impeached, indicted ex-president who tried to overthrow our democracy on January 6th. And yet, the idea that the military would participate in a spectacle like this shows just how much the normalization of Trump's authoritarianism has already taken root. Again, this isn't about honoring veterans. It isn't about unity. This is about using the military as a political weapon against its own voters, own citizens, and worse, as a symbol of loyalty to a man, not to a country. I mean, just imagine for a second if President Barack Obama had requested a massive military parade for his birthday. Fox News would have spontaneously combusted. Sean Hannity's head may have literally exploded on live television. It would be enough for Judge Jeanine to swear off boxed wine for good. We'd have seen congressional hearings for the next 6 years about Obama's birthday parade gate. The same people defending this now would have been apoplectic. And they would have been right to be concerned, by the way, because that's not how Democratic leaders behave. But Trump isn't interested in how Democratic leaders behave because his priority is showing outright hostility to our Democratic allies. This is the same Donald Trump who openly mocked NATO, who considered pulling the US out of the alliance altogether, the same Donald Trump who called the European Union a foe, who cozied up to dictators while trashing democratically elected leaders like Angela Merkel and Justin Trudeau. While Donald Trump embraces authoritarian regimes, he abandons the very alliances that have kept the world, including the United States of America, safe and prosperous since the end of World War II. And now he wants to march tanks down Pennsylvania Avenue to celebrate himself? If this isn't a giant, flashing, blinking red light, I don't know what is. But the sad reality is that we have seen this before, and we know where it leads. The use of military force to celebrate a leader's birthday is not a neutral act. It's not just political theater. It is a signal, a test. It is about seeing how far Donald Trump can go before we stand up and say enough. In autocratic regimes, those displays come before the loss of civil liberties and civil rights. Before the purges, before the censorship. They start as parades. The way they end is a hell of a lot less jovial. Donald Trump wants to rule like a king, not govern like a president. And a military parade in his honor is just another step in exactly that direction. The sad truth is that he's not trying to emulate Lincoln or Roosevelt. He is trying to emulate Putin, Xi, and Kim. This is where the descent into autocracy begins, with symbols, with gestures, and frankly, with silence. The good news is that we still have a chance to stop it. And if and when Trump does his military parade, I can promise you that there will be counter-programming, and I would ask of everyone here that we take to the streets for it. If Donald Trump wants to turn Washington, D.C. into his own personal fiefdom, then we show him what the rest of the country, the hundreds of millions of us, are willing to do that are going to dwarf whatever little personal insecurity parade that he's running in D.C. Donald Trump relies heavily on making us feel powerless, but the reality is that Republicans can run all three branches of government, they can pass executive orders, they can hand down autocratic edicts, but I can promise you that nothing they can do will be able to supersede the voices of millions of Americans taking to the streets. Do not forget that political gravity exists and that we're here to wield it. If Trump wants to compensate for his failed presidency with an ego trip for himself, then we will show him what a parade actually looks like. For a guy who cares a lot about crowd size, I can assure you his will never look smaller in comparison. Before you go, if you enjoyed this content and you want to see more and support independent media, please subscribe to this channel. The subscribe button will be right here on the screen. But second, the reality is that we are now in a political environment where this administration can lean on any of the social media platforms to suppress certain voices if they don't like critical coverage. That means my longevity here is in the hands of a few tech billionaires who are already making it clear that they are willing to cater to this administration. To that end, signing up for my newsletter is a way for me to reach you directly if that ever becomes necessary. I'll put the link right here on the screen as well, so please sign up. It's free, but there's also an option to do a paid subscription if you'd like to support me and my team. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching.